straight people of Reddit, when and how did you realize that you like the opposite sex? Kindergarten. Girl had her hair in a braid. I noticed it looked a certain way, but I didn't have the word to describe it. I asked my teacher to help me. Braid, she asked. No, I said. We went through 4 or 5 more words. After each no, she'd ask me to explain more. Eventually she figured out the word. Oh, she said. You think it's pretty? Yeah, I said. She's pretty. That's actually adorable. I had a crush on a girl in kindergarten that stayed through 7th grade. I didn't have any explanation or reason behind the feelings in kindergarten. I just knew I wanted to be around her, and I wanted her attention. I don't remember ever not knowing that I liked girls in a different and stronger way than I felt about any boy. What happened 7th grade? He lost his teaching job. My sister had Spice Girls on VHS. I was very interested in that movie. Which scene specifically? When Posh tries on the little black guxy dress? Or when Posh tries on the little black guxy dress? How the fuck did you know? Back in the late 70s, early 80s, painted vans were a thing. People would buy a panel van and get someone to paint a garish, extravagant scene on it. X-wings, pterodactyls, dragons, etc. Sometimes all on the same van. My sexual awakening happened when one of those vans happened to drive past and the mural was of a topless barbarian woman with a broad axe posing against the background of an exploding volcano under a storming sky, with lightning and fire all around. I was about 13. This is the correct answer. There used to be a website called, link in description. It was not a site dedicated to the White House. It was porn. My friends and I quickly exited the window in shock. But I thought, I like that. Holy shit. When I was 10 I innocently pulled this up for my whole family to see right before our summer trip to DC. Yeah, it was not about the White House. One day in 5th grade I noticed a lot of the girls in my class had boobs. Guys, is it just me, or is boob like really cool? Arta. When I was 10 and found an underwear magazine in the mail. Yes, before the internet, underwear models and catalogs got me through puberty. There's a moment in the Two Towers when Aragorn comes busting through double doors at Helm's Deep. Yeah, that moment. MMN. He's got a pretty big sword. In grade 4, we had this really hot social studies teacher. One time, she had the class do jumping jacks at the start of class for some reason. All dem jiggles. I remember looking at my friend beside me as this was happening, and we just nodded at each other from the joy of the scene. That was before us. No prompting was required. We just knew that we both liked the ladies. My geography teacher. I constantly had questions about my homework, just to be near her. Like two distant shores, our love is inasmus. The movie Titanic. During that one drawing scene, I put Titanic at the top of my Christmas list the year it was released on VHS. At the time my parents no doubt assumed it was because of that scene. Years later it came up somehow, and my mom offered her new, and by that time more plausible theory that it was just the first really adult movie I'd ever seen, and I appreciated the maturity of it. In actuality I just really enjoyed watching the boat sink. When the falling guy hits the propeller. Ding. I can still hear it. I was pretty young, like 5 or 6, something like that. My parent put on Cartoon Network, but didn't notice when its runtime, or whatever, was over, and the channel switched to showing movies. One of the movies had this nude scene in it. I don't remember much of what it was about. I just remember there was a naked lady tied up to a chair. Anyways, the moment I saw that lady's boobs I was like, yep, I gotta get my hands on a pair of those. Late Night Howard the Duck. My first tits were duck breasts. Remember the scene where Catwoman straddles Batman after she overpowers him and then licks his mouth in Batman Returns? Yeah. Coincidentally, looking back I now realize it's probably one of the reasons why I'm one kinky bastard nowadays. Wow. Totally forgot about that. Jesus, that was hot. Catwoman and that entire movie. Goddamn. It wasn't a gradual realization for me. I was sitting, bored, in a 6th grade class, when I thought, I wonder if I still think girls are gross, followed immediately by, I wonder if I'm gay. So I imagined myself kissing Mike, a hot piece of 6th grade male ass on my right. No, that was disgusting. Then I imagined myself kissing Clarissa, on my left, and this started the most intense and all-consuming crush I've ever had, or ever will have. It was fucking magical. It's so strange to me to read stories about people who didn't have crushes until 6th grade or puberty. I knew I liked girls by the time I was 6. Poison Ivy and Batman and Robin. Weird, but it did something for me. Weird. Straight female here, and she did something for me too. I feel like most girls look at women the way I suspect gay men do. They can look at a chick and be like, she is hot, but if you put a vagina in front of me, I wouldn't want my face anywhere near it, and it would put me off completely. Same for some straight men, though I suspect it's not as common. Not trying to get near any dicks, but sometimes I see a dude with a jawline and A+ stubble, and I'm like, I get it. Ryan Reynolds. We all get it. That man could seduce into doing quite a bit before my sexuality stopped me and says okay too far. If you wouldn't fuck Ryan Reynolds, you're asexual, not straight. Nobody's that straight. Probably around 5 or 6 when I got my first kiss on a field trip. Had a crush on her all the way through to graduation in HS. Never single at the same time though. Ended up just being friends. Go find her op. I'm happily married now. We are still friends too. Going on 33 years. Go find her. No need to find her. I know where she lives, we are still friends, and I'm happily married. Go get your lobster. When I was 4 I saw a photo of Fabio. What followed was an exchange that went something like this. Mom, is that a man? Looking at his thighs, he looks like a tree. Yes. His name is Fabio. I like him a lot. I didn't know what sex was when I first saw the movie Labyrinth, but I knew I wanted it with David Bowie. Same for me but Jennifer Connelly. Same for me but Hoggle. I remember having girlfriends in kindergarten. Had no idea what I was doing. I just remember always loving the ladies. I specifically remember in 1st grade I realized that boys and girls were different, and I liked girls. I had no idea what sex was at the time, so that's interesting. Not sure what it even was that I liked. When I was 4, I was obsessed with Star Trek. My reason? Because I was in love with Spock. Why did I love him? His ears and his logic. Ever since, I'm attracted to really smart men and oftentimes ones with features most women don't find attractive. It was data for me, but somehow I ended up with a Riker, bearded, look-alike. 5th grade. This new girl transferred to our school from somewhere else, and we ended up sitting next to each other in computer class. We were playing some silly game, and trying to help each other, but neither of us was doing great. Something happened in the game that was really silly and we both started laughing. Watching her smiling and laughing like that was the start of my first real crush, and that's when I knew I liked girls. This is honestly so sweet. The morning after having gay sex. Lucky you didn't get pregnant. 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 I can't remember what started it all, but when I was 3 years old I got caught kissing a girl under the pews at church during service. Like, we were kissing a lot. It's one of my earliest memories. Lol. Semicolon. PS. I got in trouble. That's cause you're supposed to kiss priests at that age, not girls. Not Catholic, but that did just crack me up. Lol. When I saw Prince Zuko grow his hair out in book 2. I came looking for this answer, and I'm not disappointed. He was so hot to 12-year-old me, he's hot to 27-year-old me tbh. Probably had my sexual awakening the same time as anyone that grew up in the 80s, gay or straight. David Bowie as Jereth the Labyrinth. David Bowie stands alone as a sexual icon. One's own personal sexuality is irrelevant. The girl started developing breasts and I couldn't look away. 40 years later, and I'm still hypnotized by boobies. This is accurate. If I ever get to talking too much, the wife whips out the girls, and I'm utterly transfixed, incapable of doing anything but staring and softly mumbling. Never had a realization, just always did, I guess. Yup, I did have a phase where I wondered whether I was bi or something, but then I realized that men turn me off, so, yeah, completely straight. Men don't turn me off, they don't turn me on. try men in tech support. They turn me off then on again. Princess Leia. Surprised I had to scroll down so far, even before the metal bikini. I think my first memory is when in kindergarten I followed this girl around the tables. I liked her, so I guess that's how. When I was a kid and all the other boys in my class went through the EWW girls, cooties, no girls allowed, phase, I remember thinking that that's stupid. Girls are pretty, we should want to be with them. Right there with you. I remember telling my brother I had a crush on a girl in kindergarten. He told me to ask her out and get her something nice. So I got her a $0.25 ring from a supermarket and asked her out at recess. She ran away from me though. Open bracket. As a girl that ran away from a plastic ring in 1st or 2nd grade, we can be shy too. Hope your feelings weren't hurt too bad. Wait, Jigsmodo gave a girl a $0.25 plastic ring and she ran away from him. 2 Chance Eat Life ran away from a boy that gave her a plastic ring around the same age. Gasp, could it be? Extra twist. They are married, but don't know each other's Reddit accounts. Yes, I like pina coladas. Getting caught in the rain. When I was really young, thanks to Jessica Rabbit, there was also an American Indian girl cartoon I was attracted to, but I have no idea what show it was. TV, not a movie. Chell from The Road to El Dorado? Damn, she fine. That's not her though. It would have been late 80s.